Hey there, everyone. Happy Monday and happy St. Patrick's Day. I do have my green on here, FYI. Welcome to the WMBF First Alert Desk. Rachel Bogle here. As always, I have the Facebook stream up on my phone, so if you want to chime in, let me know where you're watching from, or you just want to ask any questions about any of the stories we are following for you, feel free to ask. So I will keep looking down to make sure I'm answering any questions or just having the chance to kind of interact with you guys as we go along here. So let's go ahead and get into all the stories we are closely watching for you, starting with this one. This is one that our Ali Espinosa was on for us today. So there really was a frightening wake-up call for a couple in the Forest Brook area who say they woke up this morning to police lights outside their home and a pretty heavy police presence. So Chad Caton says Horry County Police swatted his home in the Arrowhead community around 3 this morning after dispatch reportedly got a call about an armed person breaking into that home. So he believes this is part of a national uptick in swatting calls intentionally targeting conservative media figures like him, because he is very vocal on social media and in media as a conservative figure. So you're seeing some of the video here of what was happening outside his home and really through this ordeal for him that he sent to us here. So just so you know, kind of reiterate here, this is something we've talked about quite a bit, but swatting is a hoax phone call made to law enforcement with the intention of having police show up to another person's home, and it could be a very dangerous situation. It also takes resources away from real calls, so it's an issue that we have seen really all over the country here. Authorities say the investigation into this particular incident is still ongoing, so we'll let you know if we hear more about that one. I'm going to pop myself up here for a moment and say hello to Janet. Thank you for joining. Always like to see you tuning in here with us. If you are like Janet and joining in, just feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. All right. Meanwhile, here another update, a couple of updates, rather, when it comes to some of our wildfire coverage here, starting with this one. So the attorney representing the woman arrested for sparking the Carolina forest wildfire is now disputing her charges. So Alexandra Bialoso is facing 2 misdemeanor counts after being accused of negligently allowing what started as a simple fire pit burn to get out of control and ultimately spread into the now over 2,000 acre wildfire that crews are still trying to get full control over. So arrest warrants state her fire pit was close to a tree line and she did not have an appropriate water source readily available or any garden tools on hand to control the flames once they got out of hand. However, her attorney, Johnny McCoy, says that is not true. He argues she did have a hose nearby and used it almost as soon as she could, and claims he has video to prove it. So now he's asking authorities to dismiss the charges against his client. We did reach out to the State Forestry Commission about the investigation, but they told us they could not comment on this case. Meanwhile, we do know Bialoso's first court hearing is scheduled for mid-April. So we will keep you posted on any new developments with this situation and with her legal proceedings. Meanwhile, sticking on the wildfire itself, we are now at over 2 weeks into this wildfire and the firefight here in the Carolina forest area, and now firefighters are starting to finally get an upper hand, thanks really a lot of that going to some of the wet weather we've been seeing recently, which certainly was a much needed big help. So the South Carolina Forestry Commission says the fire is now 75% contained with just over 2,000 acres burned, as I said a moment ago. And today the Forestry Commission said it started a process called mastication, which really is meant to break things down and get rid of any flammable vegetation. So crews are using mulchers. They're creating a 30-foot barrier between residences and any remaining hot spots. They're grinding up trees and debris, really just trying to leave as little material as possible that could potentially spark a wildfire. So just kind of mitigating any of those factors that could be troublesome here. So a spokesperson for the commission tells us this defense better protects homes and makes it easier to put out any new potential fires. So really starting to get some good traction here when it comes to fighting this fire and then taking those proactive measures. All right, going to pop myself back here for this next story. We will have a mugshot for you, so we will not have video. So I'll just tell you what we know here. A new mom right here in Myrtle Beach is now facing charges after allegedly testing positive for drugs shortly after giving birth. So records show here, Myrtle Beach police arrested 35-year-old Kristen Crosby, who you see here. This is directly from our website. So she was arrested last Thursday and charged with unlawful neglect of a child. So this comes after blood from the umbilical cord of her baby, born near the end of January, was sent out for testing, and it came back testing positive for methamphetamine and an animal tranquilizer called xylazine. It's also known as Trank. It also is something that has been of concern when it comes to overdoses that the county coroner's office is seeing more and more frequently. This is an issue that really folks are seeing across the nation. So we have requested a copy of the incident report related to Crosby's arrest. So far, we are still waiting to receive those documents. Of course, though, we will update you as soon as we receive them and get any new details in relation to that case. Meanwhile, we also now know the name of the person who was shot and killed at a Conway area motel over the weekend. So the coroner's office says 41-year-old Lakeen Ford died at the hospital after being shot Sunday morning at the Budget Inn right off East Highway 501. So Horry County Police tell us, quote, all parties associated with the incident are accounted for, and they say they believe this was an isolated incident. However, the department has yet to announce any arrests or publicly identify any suspects in connection to the shooting. So we'll let you know if we get any new updates, any names or suspects when it comes to this situation. For now, though, we are still waiting for all of that information when and if it comes in. All right, so let's kind of lighten things up here and bring you some good news, right? Good update here. So today, Myrtle Beach city leaders got a firsthand look at progress being made on a stormwater outfall project. So crews started working on this $42.6 million project in August of last year. This is right at the 24th Avenue North Beach access. We showed you this once this work kind of got going, and now you can really see how it's coming along. So the goal of this is to replace 11 storm drains, redirecting water to a central location. This outfall system will also allow for waste to be filtered out through two of the largest water quality boxes in the state. So we're talking about a lot of really great improvements here. And we're told this project is expected to be completed in January of 2026. So making good progress there, but not quite yet to the finish line. So we will let you know how we are looking when we check in once again with this project. All right, so let's talk about the forecast. We had quite a weekend. Sunday was soaking wet. Saturday was beautiful. And then from here, we're just kind of going to have a bit of a more tranquil, but certainly a bit cooler of a week ahead. So as you can see here, got the Grand Strand 10-day up. You can see really through most of the week, we're talking highs in the upper 60s to low 70s here. But at night, we will get quite chilly overnight, including possibly getting into the upper 30s some nights. We will get to enjoy sunshine for the next few days up until we see our next rain chances moving in by about Thursday afternoon, or you can see some of those scattered storms moving in. That will also usher in another drop in temperatures overnight from Thursday into Friday. But overall, really going to be feeling quite spring-like this week, and you will have plenty of chances to get out and about. Just make sure you take your allergy medicine if you are an allergy sufferer like me, because that pollen is out with a vengeance right now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what we are working on for you new at 11. And we can tell you here a crash earlier today has turned deadly. It's claimed the life of an Horry County driver. The coroner's office confirms 77-year-old Ricky Thompson died at the hospital after his pickup truck collided with another truck just before 7 this morning at the intersection of Highway 90 and Monica Drive in Longs. So troopers confirmed the crash also sent two people who were in the other truck to the hospital as well, but there's no word at this point on how either of them are doing tonight. We do know South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating that crash. So as I said, that is just a look at some of the stories we are following for you. We will have plenty more coming up tonight if you're able to stay up just a little bit longer for us when we'll rejoin you for our next newscast in just about an hour. But for now, that'll do it for this update from the WMBF First Alert Desk. I hope to see you back on air with us tonight for WMBF News at 11. See you back here soon. Have a good one.